I'm going to share with you 13 tips that I wish I knew when I got started with my fitness journey almost 8 years ago. And if I knew these tips, I would have been able to make way faster progress, and the progress that I made would have been also a lot easier to make. And the best part is that you can literally implement some of these 13 tips. You can implement even all of them if you want, and you will be able to run away after this video and you'll be able to implement it straight away. And these tips also work regardless of where you are on your fitness journey or your weight loss journey. Please pay attention to this video. Put your phone on airplane mode, silent, do not disturb. Really focus on this, because this might just be one of the most valuable videos that you're gonna ever find on this topic. And it's probably gonna change your life. This video is going to be divided into two parts. Part 1 is going to be where I actually give you the 13 tips, and part 2 is going to be where I give you a channel update. And not only am I gonna give you the 13 tips, I'm also going to give you a free gift at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you like the type of content, let's jump straight into the video. Lesson number 1 is to just get started. You don't need to overcomplicate or overthink or try to be perfect. Literally just get started if you haven't started yet. Just go to the gym, you'll figure it out as you go. Be confident in yourself. You don't need the perfect diet. Just make small steps so that you start making some progress. For example, go to bed 5 to 10 minutes earlier. Make one of your meals healthier. Go for a 10-minute walk today. Go to the gym today for the first time maybe. Just start small, and eventually you'll be able to level your skills in this area up. So many young guys especially overthink and try to be so perfect when they first join the gym, and they try to be all sciencey and stuff, and they watch so many YouTube videos, they read books, they just overlearn. That's the term that I'm gonna coin. They overlearn, and they get so much information that it prevents them from actually taking action. You will learn the most when you do the thing, as opposed to trying to learn about doing the thing without doing the thing. You will learn a lot more when you actually do something than if you just study or think about it or learn about it or research about it or watch videos about it. So go and do it. Start with the least amount that is feasible for you, that is doable, that you know you can get into, right? That you can start with. Because if you put too much on your plate, you won't be able to keep going, you won't be able to sustain this lifestyle, you won't be able to be consistent, and consistency and sustainability are the two most important things. So make sure that you start small and you can gradually increase it as you go. And you'll learn a lot more too as you become more experienced, as you gain more experience, right? Because when you gain experience, you gain confidence. And when you gain confidence, it's easier for you to level up. When I first got started in the gym, I felt so out of place there. I went with my cousin and with my best friend at the time. And I remember we walked in, we signed some papers to just put our details there. We walked into the gym and we had no fucking clue what we were doing, right? But that's the beauty, right? Everything new that you start, you're unconfident in because, well, it's new, you haven't done it before, so it's totally normal. You should actually expect your first workout to be terrible. Don't expect it to be good, because how can you? You haven't experienced it yet. If you haven't already gone to the gym, go today or tomorrow and just have this in mind. I don't have to be perfect. My workout is gonna suck at first, but I can either get this bad workout done today or tomorrow, or 1 year from now. You're gonna have to get this bad workout out of the way anyway, so you might as well just get it done over as soon as possible so that you can progress. And essentially all you need to succeed in fitness are 3 things. Number 1, you need actually the balls to start. Number 2 is you need the brains to learn. And number 3 is you need the heart to keep going and never quit. If you just have that, if you write this down and you stick it up on your wall, like I have, right here I have like 4 pieces of paper that just remind me what I need to be doing in terms of business, but you can do this for any area, for fitness, business, whatever. remember this, and I actually learned this yesterday from Alex Hormozy, and it's so true. As long as you actually are brave enough to start something new that is outside of your comfort zone, and you're eager to learn, you're motivated to learn, and you just simply never stop, you're gonna succeed with time. Eventually you will succeed. There's no way you can succeed if you don't stop. And also with the learning part, that's exactly what my videos on my channel are for you to be able to learn, to soak up as much of my knowledge, as much of my 7.5 year plus experience, so that you can download that information. You literally can make really fast progress. Lesson number 2 is, if you're not losing fat, you are not in a calorie deficit. Doesn't matter what you've heard. The universe doesn't hate you, bro. It's not because you're special. It's not because the universe hates you. It's not because there are certain magical rules that only apply to you and don't apply to other people. It's not because you have bad genetics. It's not because your thyroid is not functioning properly. It's because you're eating too many calories and you need to eat less. It's just as simple as that. Weight loss is literally just math. If you eat less calories than you burn, you will lose weight. Like, you can't not lose weight and be in a deficit. And some people will try to trick you and try to tell you and try to deceive you that, oh hey, you're special, you need this special program, or you need these special rules that only apply to you. But they don't. I've actually made a video last week on this. Tip number 3, you don't need to completely suffer and to only eat the boring, bland foods that you hate. You can eat your favorite foods, you can eat foods that you actually like, that you enjoy eating, and still make a lot of progress. And that's the only way. Like, that's the only way to make long-term progress and actually sustain this lifestyle, because this is a lifestyle. We don't want to just lose the weight and then gain it back and rebound. Like, what's the point in that? We want to find an approach that we can stick to for the long term, and a part of that is that we actually enjoy what we're doing, that we enjoy what we're eating. Find foods that are high in protein, that are not that high in calories, that you actually like eating, and find ways that you can make the food taste better. If that means adding condiments, if that means adding some external food sources or drinks like Diet Pop, etc. Add that in, because it's gonna help you a lot, I promise you. And the same thing goes for training. If you do something that you absolutely hate, you're not gonna be consistent with it. If you hate running, don't run. Like, I don't like running that much. I can't even remember the last time I ran. I love weightlifting, so it's easy for me to do this for like almost 8 years now. I promise you, if you don't find something that you actually like, you won't be able to do this for years and years on end. Because this is a lifestyle. We're not doing this for the short term. We're doing this forever. And this is the mindset that you need to ingrain. And the main reason that we want to enjoy this process is, what good is if we have our dream body, if we have an aesthetic body, but we suffered and we hated every step of the way there, and we need to continue eating this bullshit food? Is it really worth it to have the physique that we've always wanted? Or is it better to find an approach that we actually like, and yeah, maybe get to our goal a little bit slower, but be able to maintain that for the rest of our lives? Which one is better? I'll let you decide. Tip number 4 is, you actually can eat late at night and still lose weight and body fat. So many people still believe this myth that, oh, you can't eat after 8 p.m. Why? Let me ask you a question. If there was a guy and he was walking through the desert, imagine he's going through the desert all day. It's like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, probably like 120, and it's like 50 degrees Celsius. The sun is boiling hot. He has no water, he has no food, and he's been doing this for a few days now. So he's been gone without food for a few days. Let's imagine that he actually finds some food to eat. He eats that at 10 p.m. Do you think that he will actually get fat from eating at 10 p.m? No, of course not. The time that you eat does not determine whether or not you're gonna lose weight at the end of the day. What does determine if you're gonna lose weight or not at the end of the day is how many calories you've consumed in that day. Tip number 5, consistency is the number one most important thing that you have to have with fitness. And obviously this doesn't just apply to fitness, it applies to every other area of your life. Let me tell you a quick story. So when I first got started, in the first couple of years, I got started back in 2017. And in the first couple of years, I remember when I got back home from high school, I would eat a very specific meal every single day, pretty much 99.99% of the time. And that meal was rice, tuna, ketchup, mayonnaise, and sometimes some frozen vegetables. Now, I ate this meal because of many different reasons. One reason was because I actually liked it. The second reason was because it was actually conducive to my fitness goals, because it has protein and rice, a very good mixture for a pre-workout meal. And the third reason is because I could actually eat this for the rest of my life because I liked it that much. So think about it. I found a meal that I actually liked, that I could eat for the rest of my life, and that was helpful and actually was conducive to my fitness goals. Once you find that, how can you not succeed? How can you not get results? There's no reason you can't. And it's funny, my best friend at the time, sometimes we would see each other in the gym and he would ask me if I ate tuna and rice and ketchup and mayonnaise before I came to the gym, because it was just such a meme, because I was so literally consistent with it that, and I told him about it, that he was like, okay, yeah, you probably ate that meal before you came to the gym. That just shows you the power of consistency. And another little smaller tip in this is don't rush to your fitness goals. Like I said in the previous point, this is a marathon and not a sprint. We do this forever, not for 6 months. And give yourself more time to get in shape, to build an aesthetic body, because it's going to be way easier for you. Tip number 6 is sustainability is king. So consistency and sustainability go hand in hand. You need to be consistent to actually do this week after week after week, month after month, year after year. But you need to have a sustainable approach so that you actually can be consistent. When I got started in the gym, I only went 3 times a week. I didn't go 4, 5, 6 times, and fuck it, I didn't train every single day like some people advise. Because 3 times a week was doable for me. I managed to never miss a workout. Because my approach was sustainable. If I had gone 6 days a week, 7 days a week, probably even 5 days a week, I wouldn't be able to sustain that, I'm sure. Maybe I would have been able to, but it would have been way harder. Think about how you can find an approach that is going to be very sustainable for you. Start low, and as you get more advanced, you can increase that up. It's way better to start low and then increase it than to start off high, lose that initial motivation, and then go back down to 0. Because if you're not training well, then we're not accomplishing anything. Tip number 7 is to realize that training intensity trumps everything else. It's the most important thing when it comes to training. It's way more important than volume, it's more important than frequency, it's more important than how your training split is set up. Because you can have the best training split, you can have the most optimal rep range and the amount of sets that you're doing, but if you're training like a pussy, it won't matter. It's way better to train hard, but to do fewer sets than it is to train like a bitch and have 10 sets per exercise. Now, a caveat. If you're just starting out, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but if you are, you don't need to train hard, okay? Just go through the motions, learn the exercise, learn proper form. Don't train hard, okay? Because you're gonna get too sore and it's gonna detract from your willingness or your ability to want to actually continue with the gym. So train easy. In the beginning, you actually can train like a pussy. As you get more advanced, as you reach higher levels, you need to train harder to continue making gains. And I actually cover this in a bit more detail in my other video on my channel. It's titled How to Train for an Aesthetic Body. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, if this is helpful, if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe so that you see more of my videos on your YouTube homepage and so that you get more value, not just from this video, but from my upcoming videos as well. Tip number 8 is to just go to bed on time. Sleep is so criminally underrated in the fitness world and just in life in general. And I can tell you for a fact that I'm still struggling with sleep. I'm not gonna act here like I've mastered sleep. I've been improving my sleep recently. When you get good sleep, you avoid so many potential problems. You avoid late night partying and drinking, which can obviously fuck up your diet, your training the next day, your work the next day. You avoid having low or no energy so that you can actually train hard in the gym, because look, if you can't train hard and properly in the gym, like that is the cornerstone of you building an aesthetic body. If you can't do that, and sleep is a reason why you can't, then it's gonna be very hard for you to progress. Just being honest. So make sure that you get good sleep, because it's gonna improve a plethora of other areas of your life. And we talk about fitness, we care about fitness, so it's gonna help you make better decisions when it comes to food. You're gonna have more willpower. You're less likely to actually go off your diet and binge eat. You will be able to have more energy to train hard. You'll be well rested so that you'll actually be able to think properly about decisions when it comes to the gym and your diet throughout the day. So please get your sleep on point. And I'm gonna give you 3 quick tips. I may make a video in the future, like a sleep masterclass with every single thing that I know, but I'm just gonna give you 3 quick tips. The first tip is to just go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. I know it sounds like cliche or like it's such an idiot level advice, but you're probably not doing it, right? Go to bed 5 to 10 minutes earlier, wake up 5 to 10 minutes later, and you do that for a week, 2 weeks, you'll see that now you go to bed 30 minutes earlier and you wake up 30 minutes later, and you've just increased your sleep duration by 1 hour. Because you increase your sleep duration, you more than likely increase your sleep quality as well. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to get your sleep in tune with your circadian rhythm. So many people talk about this notion that it doesn't matter when you go to sleep, it just matters how much time you actually spend in bed, how much time you spend sleeping. And recently I saw a YouTube video by some guy, I'm not gonna say who, but he basically promoted only sleeping 3 hours, how he sleeps only 3 hours. And I'm like, dude, you're just fucking lying. Let's be real here. No one can sleep only 3 hours and actually function normally. Like for me personally, when I slept 5 hours, I remember I slept 4 to 5 hours. This was months ago in university, and I felt like death. You wanna know what happened? That day, I was driving back home. It was around 1:30, 1:45, and because I was so tired, my eyes were literally closing whilst I was driving, so I wasn't as aware, I wasn't cognizant of my surroundings. Basically, when you don't get enough sleep, it's basically like you're drunk. When I was driving, I just wanted to get home as soon as possible, and guess what? I got pulled over and I got a speeding ticket. And had I gotten proper sleep the night before, this probably wouldn't have happened, because I wouldn't have needed to just quickly rush back home to get sleep because I was so sleep deprived. So get in tune with your circadian rhythm. It's way better that you go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 7 and you get 9 hours of sleep than it is for you to go to bed at 2 a.m. but wake up at 11 a.m. But, oh bro, it's 9 hours of sleep. It should be the same. No, it's not the same. Because our bodies are biologically programmed to go to bed when the sun goes down. And when the sun goes up, we're biologically programmed to get up as well. Because how do you think our ancestors figured out, oh, when should we wake up? When should we go to bed? They just looked at the sun outside. So get into your circadian rhythm. And tip number 3 is to actually exercise throughout the day, do something so that you're actually tired and your body has a reason to fall asleep. Because how many times has it happened to you that you basically didn't do much through the day, you were lazy, you weren't productive, and then at night you couldn't sleep? You did no exercise the day, you didn't do any real work, and then your brain is like, okay, we have this energy still, like, why will you go to sleep? And some things that I've noticed when I didn't get enough sleep is I had way less energy, I was more moody, I was more emotional, so that meant that I made worse decisions. I wasn't able to train hard enough in the gym. I was just tired throughout the day. I just wanted to sleep, right? It's pretty normal when you're sleep deprived. I couldn't work on my business properly. I couldn't be asked to talk to people, so I couldn't be social. So there are so many downsides to not getting enough sleep. You may be thinking right now, oh, but I sleep pretty good. Like, I'm not that tired. My sleep is pretty good. I'm not sleep deprived. And you want to know what's interesting about sleep? When you're sleep deprived for so long, your body literally gets used to it. You start feeling less tired the longer you're sleep deprived for. Tip number 9, cardio is a literal cheat code to long-term fitness success. You should be doing cardio, not just for burning fat, and that's awesome. Also for your heart health. Because your heart is the most important muscle in your entire body. More important than your biceps, more important than your chest, more important than your abs. Pick the form of cardio that you actually like and that you'll be able to stick to. If you're struggling to actually find cardio more enjoyable, if you want cardio to pass by faster, literally just call a friend whilst you're on like a walk, or call a family member when you're doing your cardio. Yesterday when I was doing my cardio, I just spoke on the phone with my dad. Multitasking is very good when you're doing cardio, so that you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I'll actually give you a secret approach, method, tip, whatever you want to call it, that I found a couple of weeks ago. And it has to do with when the best time to do cardio is. The best time to do cardio, I'll probably make a video on this in the future. It's after you eat a big meal, preferably around dinner time. So what I personally suggest doing is to set up your diet so that dinner is the biggest meal of the day, where you just literally enjoy yourself, you have a big feast, it's satisfying, it hits your protein goals, your calorie goals. And then after dinner, go for a walk. Go on a walk with your family members, go on a walk with your girl, go on a walk with your friend. Your body wants to move after you ate a bunch of food. By the way, do you remember earlier how I talked about sustainability? I'm drinking this whilst recording. And this is very sustainable. Cheers, bro. I'll probably leave this in the video, why not? Tip number 10, meditation is the key ingredient that you've been missing, and it's gonna prevent you from falling off your diet, and it's gonna prevent you from binge eating. I've been meditating recently, virtually every single day. A few days ago I even did 30 minutes. I usually just do 10 minutes, and I can tell you how much easier it is to say no to junk food, to sweets, to just overall bad food that's not good for you. And I've noticed that even if I do eat it, I don't eat as much as I used to. And I credit that to meditating. Because, and I'll explain why. When you meditate, you're focused on your breath, you're literally aware of you being aware. And meditation will strengthen your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain like in the front. Prefrontal cortex is responsible for you making decisions, good decisions that is. So when you strengthen that part of your brain, you're gonna make better decisions. And I promise you, if you just give it a try and you actually stick to it, you'll find that it's way easier to not eat bad food, or even if you do eat it, you're gonna eat way less of it, and it's gonna happen way less often. And the more that you meditate, the easier it's gonna be to meditate, and you're gonna get more benefits, you're gonna be more consistent, and it's just gonna compound on top of each other. So I've meditated 22 times out of 31 in this month. Obviously, if we're excluding the vacation, it's 22 times out of 26 times, which is pretty good. That's like over 90%. So, and I'm gonna stick to this. Also, a quick little tip: you should track all of this in like a database. I just use Notion. You can use anything. You can just write it down. Write down the date of the day and how many minutes you've meditated for. Tip number 11 is to just copy successful people. It's not a sexy answer, it's not a sexy advice, but literally just find somebody who is successful and has the results that you want to get, and just emulate them. Just copy them. Learn from them, buy their stuff, buy their courses, buy their programs. Soak up as much of their knowledge as possible, because the quality of your results is literally just determined by the quality of knowledge and information that you have inside of your brain. The person who has a shit ton of knowledge is gonna progress way faster than the person who doesn't have a lot of knowledge. It's just common sense. So don't be afraid to invest into your knowledge and to literally just download someone's brain. And you can learn from me, that's why I'm making these videos. Lesson number 12 is pretty similar to the previous lesson, and it's to get a coach. Now why do I need a coach? Well, a coach has way more experience, has way more knowledge, information that he can give to you. Like I mentioned before, you download their brain, and if you have many coaches for many different areas of your life, you literally get to live lifetimes in just one life. You get to live multiple people's lives in your one life, because you literally are paying for their experience and for their knowledge. And that's the most important thing that you can acquire: knowledge, information. A coach also helps you to not make the mistakes that he made, right? He spent years figuring stuff out, trying to find out what works, what doesn't, and he can literally just tell you straight up, okay, do this, don't do this, make sure that you don't do this mistake, because I made it myself, and it will hinder your progress. A coach also keeps you accountable. You get very fast in real-time feedback. Coach just saves you so much pain and suffering and time and effort that you would have had to put in and not get any results. A coach literally saves you from that, and that's like the most valuable thing in a coach. And when you have a coach in your corner specifically telling you what to do, keeping you accountable, you make way faster progress. It's a lot easier to make progress as well, and you get to your goal that much faster. So definitely, investing in a coach is the most high ROI thing that you can do for yourself. And tip number 13, create routines and systems and set them in place so that it's easier to maintain a fitness lifestyle. Figure out when you're gonna wake up, at what times you're gonna eat your meals, how many meals you're gonna have, when you're gonna do your cardio, how long your cardio session is gonna be, what type of cardio you're gonna do, when you're gonna be training with weights, what your training split is gonna be, how many sets, how many reps. Figure everything out, spend time, it's worth it, I promise you. Spend time, pinpoint exactly, like very specifically, okay, what time I'm gonna eat, 4 p.m. or is it better to eat at 4:15? Am I hungry at 4 p.m. or can I push the meal to 4:15 p.m.? Do you see how specific I mean? Do that because it's gonna pay you dividends. Figure out what foods you enjoy, figure out what condiments you like. Just figure everything out. And if the thought of that, of, oh, I have to figure everything out, if that scares you, that you can, kind of feels overwhelming, I can do that for you. So if you want my help, you can speak to me with the top link in the description. Because the most difficult thing is to figure everything out. Once you figure everything out and you have routines and systems in place, you literally just have to do the thing. You literally just have to take action. When you figure out what actions you actually need to take every single day, and you make those actions your goal, you don't make your actual goal, which is like building an aesthetic body, you can forget about that goal completely, and you just make your goal the daily actions, and you just do them for long enough time, you'll achieve your grand goal, building an aesthetic body. So please take this tip seriously and spend some time and effort on this. So I just gave you 13 really amazing tips that are gonna help you. So make sure that you actually implement it. Don't just listen to this and not take any action. Because remember, you need knowledge, and then you need to implement that knowledge if you want success, if you want results. Let's move on to the second part of the video. Now for the channel update, what's coming in the future. Up to this point, I was making videos for men, but I didn't really specify what kind of man I'm making the videos for. So my thought process was just, okay, make videos for any guy who wants to build an aesthetic body, who wants to lose fat, build muscle in the right places. That was my thought process. But now I've decided that I'm gonna make a change. And from now on, I'm going to be making videos specifically for men who are online entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you exactly why. But before I tell you that, you might, like when I said that, you probably thought of, oh, but Urban, what if I'm not an online entrepreneur? What if I'm not an entrepreneur at all? Can I still benefit from your videos? And the short answer is, yes, you can. It's basically like a spectrum, right? From now on, I'm gonna be making videos specifically for men who are online entrepreneurs, and I'm gonna help them build an aesthetic body. So let's say that this is 0%, this is 100%. So men who are online entrepreneurs will benefit 100% from my videos. 110%, 120%, because my videos are good. Just being honest. But if you're not an online entrepreneur, right? Let's say you work a normal job. Yes, you might not be able to benefit 100% from my videos, but instead of benefiting 100%, you'll benefit like 90%, 95%. So most of the advice is still gonna be relevant and applicable to you. Just not all the advice is gonna be applicable to you. So that's the update, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's because I can relate to that guy more, because I'm into entrepreneurship, I'm into business myself right now, so I can relate to that type of guy more at the moment. I'm just gonna be honest here. Guys who are online entrepreneurs, guys who are making decent money, good money, maybe even amazing money, they're just overall cooler to be around, to hang out with, to network with, to talk to. Just being honest, when you coach them, they don't like micromanage every single little detail. I want to work with guys who are killers, guys who are winners already. I don't want to work with guys who are just scared to spend money and invest in themselves to become better men. Like, I just don't want to work with those kind of people. The only exception is like, if you work a job and you're hungry or motivated to improve your physique and you have the money, then sure, I can work with you. Yeah, and the last reason is I want to make money for myself too. This YouTube channel, it's not just a hobby, it's not just a passion project, right? It's not a creative outlet only. It's both a business and a creative outlet for me, because I love talking about fitness, I love lifting weights. I want to help guys who are ready to invest into themselves. And if you're new here and you're like wondering why I do these pretty like uncut, unfiltered, raw kinds of videos, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I don't do the other side of the spectrum. I prefer these like just talking head, unfiltered videos, just giving advice, just helping you out, more than the highly edited dopamine videos. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why. The first reason is because I don't want to spend 30 hours on a fucking 5-minute video, editing it, putting GIFs and images and like quick videos and transitions and whoosh effects and ding sounds and money sounds just to hook your attention. How many creators have you watched so far and they have those kinds of videos where it's super highly dopamine edited and you don't even remember what you just watched? Have you ever thought of that? When you watch a dopamine video that's supposed to be educational, do you even remember a lot of the times what you've just watched? Probably not, right? You retain way more information from an uncut style video like this. You want to know something that other creators who do these kinds of videos are probably gonna hate me for it if they watch this video. Those creators literally think that you're stupid, that you're like so low IQ that they need to make videos with all these things popping on the screen every 2 seconds so that they hopefully can hook your attention, maintain the attention, and give you advice. And I don't want you to come to my videos and when you leave my videos, you're worse off. Because when you watch those edited dopamine videos, your brain is literally worse off after you watch them. Your memory is worse, and that creator has just lowered your attention span. With my videos, I want to give you super fucking good valuable advice, just a ton of value that's gonna actually change your life for free. I want to make them uncut, unedited, just a few cuts here and there so that you actually remember and retain the information. And I want you, when you leave my videos, to have an improved attention span compared to having a destroyed attention span. Those are the reasons. I don't want to spend 30 minutes on a 5-minute video editing it to hopefully hook your attention with these dopamine style videos. I don't want to waste your time by giving you these dopamine videos and you not actually retaining the information because you essentially just wasted your time. And I want to actually improve your attention span, your brain, so that you can be better. And I'm making these videos so that I attract a more smart, intelligent, hardworking, motivated, disciplined, perseverant person who wants to achieve results, who's not afraid to invest in themselves, who's ready to win. And if you ever catch me switching to that dopamine style videos where it's just brrr, I want you to call me out on it. So if we just do a quick little recap, in part 1 of the video I gave you the 13 things that are gonna really fucking help you if you implement them. And in the second part of the video I just gave you a channel update, what I'm gonna be doing moving forward on this YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got value from it, subscribe so that you see more of my videos on your homepage instead of all the highly edited bullshit dopamine ones. And no, I did not forget to give you the free gift. The free gift is very connected to what I just gave you in part 1. And it's the 5 things that I started doing back in 2017 when I first got started with my weight loss journey. And those 5 things allowed me to lose over 37 pounds in my first year. And as a result of that, look way better and become more confident and just have a way better fucking life. And you can get that gift with the top link in the description. And also, if you want more help from me, you want to work closer to me, you want to talk to me every day, you want me to help you solve your problems, the top link in the description is also waiting for you there. So you can speak to me, right? Every single day, if you want. Do you remember point number 9 when I mentioned how cardio is a cheat code to long-term fitness success and allows you to maintain a leaner body forever? Well, I've actually made a full-on cardio masterclass on my channel. You can go watch that video next. Hopefully you got value out of this, and goodbye.